Hello, young little minds. Welcome to All Force e-learning program. I am DNR, your physics lecturer. So this is session number 11, physics session number 11, right? Now in this session, we will talk about parallelogram law of vectors. We will continue with parallelogram law of vectors. Now before that, let us have a recall of what we have learned in the earlier classes. Well, I was telling you, physics, subject of measurement, right? When you measure, you get a quantity, physical quantity. Physical quantities are of two types, scalars, vectors. Well, scalars are the quantities which possess magnitude, no significant direction. Even if they have direction, they have got no significance and they are just mere number and with a unit. Vectors both have magnitude and significant direction. Not only direction, they even possess the laws of vector addition. Well, we have represented the vector by three methods. Later on, we have given you different types of vectors, right? And we have talked about the resolution of vectors also. Now we are talking about addition of vectors. Now, in addition of vectors, the analytical approach to the addition of vectors, the mathematical way of adding vectors. In that, we were talking about parallelogram law of vectors, a very important topic regarding vectors, parallelogram law of vectors. Well, in the previous session, we have derived a formula for the magnitude and direction of the parallelogram law. So let's have the continuation of it. We will take up the applications of the parallelogram. Now before that, let's study what is parallelogram law. So I was telling you, if two similar vectors, so I was telling you similar, belonging to the same physical quantity with same unit. If two similar vectors are represented as two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, right? I am representing two similar vectors as two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, A bar and B bar, like this. So let me complete this parallelogram. This is the parallelogram like this. If two similar vectors are represented as two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, starting from the same point, they are co-initial vectors. They must start from the same point, right? Co-initial, this way. Then the diagonal passing through the point of intersection of vectors will represent the resultant vector R bar. The diagonal through the point of intersection of vectors represents the resultant vector R bar. And you know, if A bar and B bar are two vectors and the angle between the vectors is theta, then this diagonal is called the resultant vector R bar. Well, parallelogram has got two diagonals, but you have to consider the diagonal passing through the point of intersection vector. Now this represents the resultant vector in magnitude and direction, right? So if two similar vectors are represented as two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, right, co-initial vectors starting from the same point, then the diagonal passing through the point of intersection of vector represents the resultant vector. So if I represent two vectors as like this is the parallelogram, then the diagonal starting from this point, from the point of intersection vector to the opposite point. Now this diagonal represents the resultant vector. Now we have derived the formula for the resultant magnitude. Mod R is under root of, well, the magnitude of mod A is simply A, suppose. Magnitude of mod B is simply B. Then it is A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, where theta is the angle between the vectors. Theta is the angle between the vectors. So magnitude of the resultant R, root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Now the direction of the resultant vector, let it be alpha. The angle made by the resultant with the first vector, A bar, let this be alpha. Then tan alpha is given as B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. This is the direction. This is the magnitude and this is the direction of the resultant vector. Mod R and magnitude and direction. So this way we find the resultant there. Now I have given you the derivation, how we get on to this formula. There is another method of reaching on to this. There is another method of deriving this formula by resolution method. Now I will tell you even that method also to find the resultant vector. Is it? So we have dealt with the derivation of the resultant vector by algebra, by simple mathematics. Let us do the same thing by resolution of vectors. Now come on. Let A bar and B bar be two vectors. Well, modulus of A is A bar, B bar are two vectors. Their magnitudes are A and B, right? Represented as two adjacent sides of parallelogram. Let the parallelogram be OABC. This is the parallelogram. So OA represents A bar, OC represents B bar. Two adjacent sides of parallelogram. Then the diagonal OB represents the resultant vector. The diagonal OB represents the resultant vector of these two vectors there. Now to derive the formula for the resultant. Now what shall we do is, let's make a small construction here. Drop a perpendicular from B, extend OA. Dropping a perpendicular from B and extending OA, both meet at a point D. Now from this parallelogram OABC, you see OC vector, OC and AB both are parallel and equal. So I shall consider AB also as B bar. You know, I was telling you, a vector, whenever vector is displaced parallelly in any direction, there is no change in the vector. So this vector, if it is displaced parallelly, then the vector remains same. So therefore B, if this is B bar, this is B. And if this is theta, even this is also theta, corresponding angles, because these two are parallel lines. This is. Now according to resolution of vectors, let us split this vector into components. Consider the right angled triangle ABD. From the right angled triangle ABD, consider the right angled triangle ABD. Triangle ABD. Now in this right angled triangle, AB is vector B bar. AB represents vector B bar and this is angle theta. Then taking the components of the vector B. Now from this, cos theta, apply cos theta. You know, cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. So cos theta is equal to AD by the hypotenuse is AB. AD by AB. So I can write as AD as AB cos theta. Similarly, take sin theta. In this triangle sin theta, you know, sin theta is opposite by hypotenuse. So therefore we will get it as dB by AB. So therefore dB is equal to AB sin theta. So AD is AB cos theta and dB is AB sin theta. Now let us find out the magnitude of the resultant OB. Consider the right angled triangle. Consider right angled triangle OBD. Now in the right angled triangle OBD, our resultant vector is OB. Apply Pythagoras theorem. So according to Pythagoras theorem, OB square, the hypotenuse OB square is OD square plus DB square. But you know, OD I can write as OA plus AD. Please substitute. So OB square is equal to OA plus AD whole square plus DB square. Well, expand this. So expanding, I get OB square as OA square plus 2 OA AD plus AD square plus BD square. Right? So this way it is. Now, in this right angle triangle ABD, here also if you apply Pythagoras theorem, I get AB square is AD square plus DB square. So, substituting this in this one, AD square plus BD square is AB square and AB is AB cos theta. Right? So, it is A and this is AB cos theta. So, substituting I get OB square is equal to OA square plus 2 OA. AD I am writing it as AB cos theta plus AD square plus BD square is AB square. So substituting all the things I get. Now in this one I can write the resultant. So OB, you know, OB is R square. R square is OA. OA is A square plus, now 2 OA, AB cos theta. AB is again B, so it's B cos theta plus AB square. Well, AB is B, so it's B square. So R I can write as root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So the magnitude of the resultant vector is under root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. This is the magnitude of the resultant. The direction of the resultant tan alpha. You see from this right angle triangle, the direction is opposite the adjacent. It's dB by OD. So dB by OD. So it's dB by what is OD? OA plus AD. So it's OA plus AD. So tan alpha is equal to dB. We have already found dB as AB sin theta. So it's AB sin theta by OA plus AD. That is OA plus AD. AD is AB cos theta. So this is AB cos theta. Therefore tan alpha is B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. This way we find the resultant vector. Was it? So this is the method by resolution. You know, I am splitting this vector into components, B cos theta, B sin theta. The adjacent component is B cos theta, this is B sin theta. So this vector is A and this is B. So total it is A plus B cos theta. And this is B sin theta. So therefore applying right angle, Pythagoras theorem in right angle triangle, I get the resultant as root of A square plus B square plus 2 cos theta. So this way, for a parallelogram, from the parallelogram law of vectors, we can derive the formula for the magnitude and direction. Okay. Yes. Let us take up the important illustrations of the parallelogram law of vectors. So we have got the magnitude of the resultant is under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. And the direction of the resultant tan alpha is B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. Right? Now from this, let us have all the various cases based on the parallelogram law of vectors. Now case 1. Now these are very important with respect to the entrance point of view. First case. What is the resultant if two vectors are in same direction, parallel? If the vectors, if case 1, if A bar and B bar are in same direction, if they are in same direction, then how do you find the resultant? That is, if theta is equal to 0. Right? If they are in same direction, theta 0, then how do you find the resultant? Now come on. So let's draw the diagram. A bar is in this direction. So B bar was actually the parallelogram like this, but B bar is also, they are in same direction. So B bar is also in the same direction as A bar. Then what is the magnitude of the resultant? So please substitute in this one. The magnitude of the resultant, I get it as A square plus B square plus 2AB cos of the angle between them, cos 0. You know, according to trigonometry, cos 0 is 1. So I get the magnitude of the resultant as under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB. But you know, A square plus B square plus 2AB, this is nothing but A plus B whole square under root. Root square cancel. So mod R is A plus B. So it's simply mod A plus mod B. Right? So this resultant, if two vectors are in same direction, then the resultant, magnitude of the resultant vector is just the sum of the two magnitudes. And you know, this is the maximum resultant. The highest resultant you get when two vectors are added. So the maximum. So this is termed as R max. A plus B. Then how about the direction of the resultant vector? Now already A bar is in this direction, B bar also is in this direction. You know, according to triangle, I was telling you, if two vectors are represented as two sides of a triangle taken in order. Now, what do you mean taken in order? The head of the first vector is connected to the tail of the second vector. Then the closing side of the triangle, the third side of the triangle taken in the reverse order. That is the line joining the initial point to the final terminal point of both vectors. Now that represents the result vector. So if this is A bar and B bar, this is R bar. If I apply this and find the angle for resultant vector. Now, so first A bar vector, first vector is A bar. If I add up the second vector to this taken in order, in the sense B vector is added to A. Now how do you add up? the terminal point of A is connected to the initial point of B. So this is. Then the third side of the triangle, that is the line joining the initial point to that final terminal point. This is the initial point and the final terminal point is here. Now this represents the resultant vector. So if A and B are in same direction, even the resultant also is in the same direction. So R bar is parallel to A bar and B bar. So A, B and R, all the three are parallel vectors. In fact, they are like vectors because all belong to the same physical quantity. They have got same unit. So all the three you can write as like vectors. Based on this, there was a previous entrance question which was asked based on this point in vector notation. On this concept, the question was asked like this. The question says like this. A bar, B bar, C bar are three vectors. A bar, B bar, C bar are three vectors such that, you see the question is given in total mathematical form. It is in vector notation. So A bar, B bar, C bar are three vectors such that C bar is A bar plus B bar and mod C is mod A plus mod B. The question is purely in vector form. No English, pure mathematics he has applied. So if A bar, B bar, C bar are three vectors such that C bar is A bar plus B bar and magnitude of C is mod A plus mod B. Then the question is A bar, B bar, C bar are dash vectors. This was the question that was asked in the previous entrance examination. Right? The question was simply like this, given in pure vector notation, pure vector form. No, there are no English terms being given there. So you have to make out from the vector notation. Let's understand. A bar, B bar, C bar are three vectors. There are three vectors represented as A, B, C. Such that, this is a symbol for such that. In a sense, the link, the vectors are so connected that C bar is A bar plus B bar. In the sense, C is the resultant of A and B. So if A bar, B bar are two vectors, just now I was showing, if A bar and B bar are represented as two sides of a triangle, then the resultant R. So here in this one, the resultant is C. So if A bar is like this, B bar is like this, then the diagonal is C. This is the resultant vector. Then he has even given that the magnitude of the resultant, so-called resultant C, is magnitude of A plus magnitude of B. Now come to this case. The magnitude of the resultant is sum of the magnitudes of the individual magnitudes of the vectors. So the magnitude of the resultant is sum of the individual magnitudes. Now when is the resultant magnitude equal to sum of the individual magnitudes? When A and B are in same direction. When theta is 0 degrees. So this condition is satisfied if A and B are in same direction. So this is possible if A and B are in same direction. So therefore A bar and B bar are in same direction. Now how about this resultant C bar? Even the resultant is parallel to A bar and B bar. So even C bar is also in the same direction. So A, B and C all are in the same direction. So they are parallel vectors. And of course they belong to the same physical quantity. They have got the same unit. So you can write it as they are parallel vectors or like vectors. They are like vectors. A very beautiful question asked based on this concept. The maximum resultant. So when does the vectors produce maximum resultant? When does the vectors give highest resultant? When the vectors are in same direction. If two forces are acting in same direction, they both add up. 3 plus 4, the total force will be 7. So when they are in same direction, the resultant is maximum. Highest resultant you get. And the resultant is also in the direction of the individual vectors there. Is it a special case for the resultant of vectors? And this is a beautiful problem given based on that. Okay. Now the second case. Let's take up the second case. In parallelogram law of vectors, if the vectors, this time, if the vectors are anti-parallel, now what will happen if the vectors are anti-parallel? Case 2. So let's take up the second case. If A bar and B bar are anti-parallel, in the sense they are in opposite direction, anti-parallel. So the angle theta between them is 180 degrees. if two vectors are in opposite direction 180 degrees. So that is A bar is in this direction but B bar is in this direction. They are opposite. Then how does the resultant differ? Well, let me substitute in the formula. We know magnitude of the resultant is under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Now theta is 180. So it's cos 180. What is cos 180? Minus 1 according to trigonometry. So mod, or you will get it as A square plus B square plus 2AB of minus 1. Well, multiply minus. So mod r I get it as A square plus B square minus 2AB. According to mathematics, A square plus B square minus 2AB is minus A minus B whole square. Well, square root cancel. This is A minus B. So therefore, magnitude of the resultant is magnitude of A minus magnitude of B. So the resultant magnitude is the difference in their magnitudes. In the earlier case, when the vectors are in same direction, the resultant magnitude is the addition of their magnitudes. Now the resultant is their difference in their magnitudes, mod A minus mod B. Now how about the direction? The direction. Let's go by the same triangle law. First vector is represented as A bar. Second vector is now connected to this. The terminal point of the first is connected to the initial point of the second. So second vector is B bar like this. Then the closing side, the line joining the initial to final, this represents the resultant vector. So therefore the resultant is like this. You see, it is in parallel to A, it's in anti-parallel to B. Well, the magnitude of A is more, hence it is parallel to A. Had it been like A is of smaller length, B is of bigger length, B more than A, then A is lesser magnitude, B is of more magnitude, then the resultant magnitude, the magnitude of the resultant would have been mod B minus mod A. And the direction, initial to final, so this is the resultant. So from these two, what do you understand? The direction of the resultant is parallel to the bigger vector. Out of A and B, the biggest of both, the bigger value, more magnitude, the vector which is of more magnitude, the resultant is parallel to it. And it is opposite to the vector with less magnitude. It's parallel to the vector with more magnitude, opposite to the vector with less magnitude. Here also, here B is more than A, so the resultant is parallel to B, opposite to A. A is less. Here A is more, R is parallel to A. So in this case, the resultant vector is parallel to, R bar is parallel to vector with more magnitude. Vector with more magnitude. Well, what happens if they are of same magnitude? Well, if they are of same magnitude, then the resultant will be first vector like this, second vector like this, both are equal and opposite, they are opposite vectors, negative vectors. We know if this is A bar, this is minus A bar, we know the addition of two negative vectors is 0. So the resultant will be a null vector. If A and B are of same magnitude, then the resultant will be a null vector if they are in opposite direction. And you know, this is called the minimum resultant of the vectors. So we have just now, in case 1, we have found the maximum resultant of the vector is A plus B and the minimum resultant of the vectors is A minus B. If I take the ratio R max to R min, A plus B by A minus B. Well, you can even make out R max is A plus B, R minimum is A minus B, it is A minus B. Now add both, plus B minus B cancel. So maximum resultant plus minimum resultant is AA, it's 2A. So magnitude of the first vector is R max plus R min by 2. Well, similarly in this one, you subtract from these two. So therefore, R max is A plus B, R min is A minus B. Subtract from one another, minus minus plus, this cancel. So R max minus R min is 2B. Well, B is R max minus R min by 2. When maximum minimum resultants are given, then you can find out. Now from this also he is going to ask you, R max by R min is A plus B by A minus B. Then he will ask you what is A by B. R max by R min is A plus B by A minus B. He will ask you to find out what is A plus B. You know, you can do it by componendo dividendo. There is a mathematical operation called componendo dividendo. Let me give you what is the operation. Suppose if ratio of two vectors, two values A plus B is some C plus D by C minus D, then according to mathematics, A plus B by A minus B you can write as C by D. This is called componendo dividendo. There are four terms A, B, C, D, for example, four values, such that A by B is C plus D by C minus D. Then by componendo dividendo, A by B is equal to C plus D by C minus D can be written as A plus B by A minus B is C by D. Well, the order must be, you should be careful with the order. The first vector by second vector, first by second, here also first plus second. The first by second, again you should take the same order, first plus second by first minus second. The order is first by second. No, that way you should. So by this method of componendo dividendo, you can apply componendo dividendo on this one and you can find what is A by B. R max by R min is A plus B by A minus B. So comparing this by this, these two are similar to it and these two are similar to this. Then A plus B by A minus B, that is R max plus R min by R max minus R min is A by B. By applying componendo dividendo you can get. So from these two, R max is similar to A, R min is similar to B. A plus B, A is similar to C and B is similar to D. By componendo dividendo you can write A plus B by A minus B, C by D. In the sense you can write it as A plus B. So sum of these both, R max plus R min by R max minus R min is A by B. So from these two cases, what are the things you can infer? So suppose if he gives you the maximum resultant, inverse resultant, he may ask you find out what are A and B, what is the ratio of R max to R min. If the ratio of R max to R min is given, then what is the ratio of A and B? So this way he is going to ask you various questions. You can make out the things from these things like this, right? So this is the second case of parallelogram law of vectors there. If I take up the third case, case 3, third case when the vectors are perpendicular. If A bar and B bar are perpendicular, then what will be the resultant? Let's consider case 3, third case. If A bar, B bar are perpendicular vectors, that is theta 90, then what is the resultant? Please substitute. So mod R is equal to under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 90. You know, according to trigonometry, cos 90 is here. So therefore the magnitude of the resultant is root of A square plus B square. This is called perpendicular resultant of two vectors. Perpendicular resultant of two vectors. How about the direction? This is A bar, this is B bar. Then this is the resultant vector. This is A, this is B, resultant. The angle made by the resultant is alpha. So therefore tan alpha is oppositely adjacent. Right angle triangle it is. It's B by A. So the angle made by the resultant alpha is tan inverse of B by A. So this way you can find the magnitude and direction. Right. So this way these are the various cases regarding parallelogram law of vectors. Right. In the next session, we will take up some more examples regarding this and we will do some problems, right? Thank you.